We talk high school basketball this morning here on Daybreak with the fourth-year head coach, Sylacauga High School, Will Copeland, the boys basketball coach, and Khalil Pope, who's a senior, who's a three-year varsity player. Good morning to both of you guys.
Good morning, sir.
Appreciate you joining us today. And y'all got started on the hardwood, Tuesday night?
Tuesday night we went to Anniston and came up a little short. We lost by 6 and had a chance there at the end, but just didn't make plays and lost a tough one.
Khalil, what do you think about the opener for the Aggies?
Well, it was a tough opener, but I feel like me and my guys just didn't play hard enough, could have played better defense, and stayed in a lot of foul trouble.
Yes.
This is a senior group of five seniors?
Yes, sir.
And you being in your fourth year at Sylacauga High School, you've seen these guys grow, haven't you?
I have. Some of them, Khalil's been on the varsity since 10th grade, and some of them actually have, played JV last year and then are varsity this year, and a lot of them, like we said, we got 4 starters back from last year.
Well, a good team from last year, 21-11.
Yes, sir.
County champs, area champs, and sub-region champs. And what do you expect from this year's club?
We just expect to get better throughout the season and just take every game at a time. And when we play a very tough schedule. So when we play a tough schedule, and we've talked about this, we kind of see our weaknesses because we see what we've got to work on when you play good teams. If you play teams that are not that good, you don't really know how good you are. And so we're going to Hoover for Thanksgiving for the Big Orange Classic, play Central Tuscaloosa the first round, Talladega, Childersburg, the teams in our area, Anniston, are all good. And so it kind of exposes you to what you need to work on. And that's what happened Tuesday night. We saw some of our weaknesses and what we need to do to get better throughout the year.
Now, Khalil, have you been playing basketball since you were a little guy?
Well, yes, I've been playing since I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah. And playing for Sylacauga your senior season, I'm sure you're expecting great things from your club too.
Well, yes, sir. We have really high expectations this year because of last year. So me and my guys we have one goal this year, and it's defense, basically. So we just build off things we did last year and make it further than we did last year.
Playing in your senior season at Sylacauga High School, how do you balance academics and basketball?
Well, my parents always told me academics come first, so it's basically just school comes first. So if I have to study, I'll study before basketball or during class because I know my parents know I make good grades, so grades are very important. Basketball comes second. I really love basketball.
All right. Khalil Pope, who was a senior at Sylacauga High School, and of course basketball in full swing now, and Will Copeland, who's in his fourth year as the boys basketball coach at Sylacauga High School. What a beautiful arena you have.
It's great. It's been great. We appreciate Dr. Freeman and Mr. Hubbard and all the people who supported that and come in there and came to us as coaches and found out, what do you want and what do you want this place to look like, and done a great job of getting it for the kids. And that's who it's all for, is the kids, and for them to have a place that, if your administration show pride in the facilities, then the kids are going to say that, they're backing them up on playing sports.
Well, you're on the road tomorrow night.
Yes,
for the second game of the season against Central Sylacauga County, and that's always a battle.
It is. It's a tough place to go play. And they've got a lot of guys coming back from last year as well. And Coos has always been a tough place ever since I've been here, and to go and play a away game.
What's so special, this is good for both you guys, about being a part of Sylacauga High School? Khalil, we'll start with you on that.
At Sylacauga High School, everybody's a family, basically. No one's left behind. They love you, and they will support you no matter what.
Coach?
My wife and I moved here, and we didn't know a lot about the area. I'd never been here until I interviewed here. And we got here and really liked the place and bought a house, and we really liked the town. And being part of the school was great. And we've just settled here, and we like being here. And there's no place we'd rather be.
Sylacauga High School head basketball coach Will Copeland, along with Khalil Pope, who's a senior point guard and who's been on the varsity for 3 years. And Khalil, how's it changed from your sophomore year to your senior year as far as evolving into a leader for this basketball team?
Well, my sophomore year, I was just going with the flow and just playing. But now I feel like I'm a big leader on the team. My teammates look up to me to make good decisions, and I really thank them for that.
Coach Will Copeland, the head basketball coach over at Sylacauga High School. The Aggies coming off a 21-11 year. And Sylacauga basketball traditionally has been really, really good. The state championship team back in the late 80s, and always a competitive basketball team. What's the special you see about this club?
That we compete and we're not very tall. Our tallest player is 6'1", and what makes them special is they play hard, and we go toward our strengths, which are running up and down the floor and pressing, and we like to shoot threes and try to balance that out with an inside game. But these guys have been working since August, and we actually lifted weights in July, and we came back in August and really got to work after school, lifting weights, running, conditioning. We got up to running 32 suicides at the very end, at the peak of our conditioning, and they're just a special bunch of guys to be around, whether it's in the hallway or the classroom, and it's not something I dread coming in and going to work, get to practice.
Khalil, Coach Copeland talking about coming in July. Man, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, working toward a season opener in November, beginning in July. How do you do that?
It's just basically the love of the game. If you love the game, you're dedicated to it.
Did you guys play? Can you play? Can you be competitive during that?
In June,
okay.
It's more. We get as many play dates as we want, and we took 7, and we went to play dates in June, and in July, pretty much it goes to football. Mm-hmm. We've got 2 guys that go to football in July, so we just really focus on. We open the gym and let them play and lift weights in July, and give them some time off to let them be kids in the summer and enjoy being away from it for a while, so they can refocus a little bit. We lifted like 2-3 days a week. So
now later on in, I think it's in November, isn't it? That we have the annual. Let me see. Let me look around here. You're in a tournament.
We go to Lincoln for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yeah. We were trying to have boys and girls at the Marble City Classic, but
I was looking at that.
Yeah, we had a struggle getting boys teams.
Okay.
It's sometimes struggle getting boys teams to come play because the boys teams are in football and they don't want to commit to something thinking they might be in the playoffs. Yeah. And that my first year here, we had it, and we had a school that dropped out at the last minute because they were in football playoffs. So boys teams sometimes have a tough time committing if they have football. Well,
the Lincoln Thanksgiving tournament begins next Monday. How do you guys play?
We play, last week we were playing Etowah, and then I actually got a phone call this week saying that Etowah was not in the tournament.
Okay.
So they're redrawing the bracket, and we're finding out today who we play. But it's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday tournament, and we really don't know who we play yet because they hadn't told us.
Well, your home opener is coming up just later on in the month against Ben Russell on the 29th. Why so late in November?
It's the way the schedule falls. And sometimes when you play a team away, you start away the next year, so you play your last home game. And I actually told the guys yesterday, I'm kind of glad that we started on the road and we started with the opponent we have, because we find out what we have as a basketball team. And then I think when we get home after Thanksgiving, we have 5 out of our next 6 at home.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Khalil, take us through a game at Sylacauga High School. I know you try to win every game, but those area games are very, very important.
Well, first we have our student section, which is very, very intense, and it's like a student section. The coach, they get you into the game, and it's like no other better feeling than that.
Well, the big thing is getting people in the seats.
Yes, sir.
And Sylacauga has always been supportive of their basketball program.
Winning has a lot to do with that, and the way we play. And we hope to, like I said, and I told the guys the other night, I said a lot of people, a lot of people come for the first game and see how you're going to do based on that if they're going to come the rest of the year. So I hope we, get support, and I hope we, like I said, we got to win for people to come out, because people come out when there's a winner. There's no doubt about it. Some are consistent, and that's great, but we know that some people come out the more you win. And, our schedule's set up to prepare us for that area schedule. We're in the area with Moody, Briarwood, and Shelby County.
In the game with Anniston on Tuesday night, you lose, but you had a chance to win the basketball game.
We had a chance. We had the ball with about 50 seconds left, down 2. and just turn it over late down at the end, and then they throw out and shoot a layup, and then we have to foul because we missed a shot at the end. So,
Khalil, after the first game, do you feel the aches and pains of the first game since you're just starting with the season?
Well, it's my senior year, so it definitely hit me, but I just realized that we had to go back to work and work harder than we ever did before.
Yeah, well, we appreciate both of you being with us. Will Copeland, head basketball coach at Sylacauga High School in his 4th year, and Khalil Pope, who's a senior point guard. And we haven't talked, Coach, a whole lot about Khalil outside of the basketball floor, but he's an outstanding student and a fine young man.
Great student, and actually, has a job, after school and works some on the weekends. And he's a great student and just like a very positive kid. And because coaches have to have players on the floor that they depend on, and I depend on Khalil for a lot, and and I don't have to check his grades, every once in a while I will just to make sure, but he's, when I look on there, it's A's. So, and it shows a lot of his character, and the way he was raised was great, to put academics first, and that's a tribute to his parents.
I'm sure you want to invite the Sylacauga fans to be a part of the big game tomorrow night against Central Sylacauga County. Not a bad drive from Sylacauga at all.
No, we really appreciate support and supporting these kids, and just joining up as a community, because this is a small town, and we need things that people can go to that are positive, and that the town can come together and support these guys and the girls teams for all the work they've done.
How did you get started with your basketball career as a coach?
As a coach,
yeah.
I actually was playing basketball in Louisiana at an NAIA school called Louisiana College, and I decided that a girl was more important than basketball. And didn't play my senior year, and I came back, and after we broke up, of course, after a couple of years, I decided that I was going to get into coaching because I wanted to make a difference in kids' lives, because I wish somebody would have drugged me and said, look, girls are not more important than basketball, and this is your life, and I wish somebody would have done. And that's a message we send to our guys a lot about what's important in life, because I made a mistake when I was younger. I had a great coach growing up named Mark Butler, who was my high school basketball coach, and he influenced me a lot. But that's the reason I got into coaching, is just to make a difference and to help kids, and I love basketball. So,
Khalil, how would you describe yourself as a basketball player?
Well, I can do multiple things, but my strongest is being a leader, leading the team, and just getting a guy the ball that's hot.
Is shooting your strength?
I can shoot a little bit, yes, sir.
You shoot a 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Coach, can you post him up in the middle?
I'm too old for that. I'm just, we've got our coaches, I've got a great assistant, Joel Jones, who's been coaching at Sylacauga for years, and we're always, trying to show them how much we can bench press, and sometimes we do things, but it's on a stationary level. It's like, I'm going to show you how to post up, but don't ask me to go to the other end. So,
right. Very quickly, some of the other guys on your team you're depending on this year.
We've got a group of juniors that's coming up. We're juniors and seniors. We have nobody else. Malik Crawford led us in scoring the other night with 17 points, and Darian Garrett has been playing on the varsity. He actually got moved up. He's a junior this year. He got moved up as a 9th grader, him and Malik, at the end of the year, and did a good job. And we're expecting a lot out of our guys, and just all of them as a team. It's just what's your role and what's your consistently doing to help us win basketball games. So,
well, certainly thanks to both of you being here. Will Copeland, the head basketball coach at Sylacauga High School, and Khalil Pope, who's a senior point guard. The Aggies in action tomorrow night down in Hanover, Alabama. It's at Central Sylacauga County, and they're in the tournament up at Lincoln for beginning next week, and don't know the exact schedule and times yet, but Sylacauga will be in that tournament, and come home on the 29th of November to take on Ben Russell for the home opener for the Aggies basketball team. Thank you both for being here this morning. Good to see you. Khalil, always good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, too.
More Daybreak just ahead. The final half hour follows this timeout.